Yo, welcome to another edition of the Ramble podcast. I'm your host, Corban. Follow me on Twitter, at CorbanNBA. This is a Sports Ethos presentation, so check out Sports Ethos on Twitter, at Sports Ethos online, sportsethos.com. Today is Tuesday, the 2nd of January of the new year, 2024. And again, I just want to wish you and yours, thank you for listening, wherever you may be. Appreciate the support. And hopefully, we start the new year right and just have a great upcoming season. And all the productivity that comes with that. But on Ramble, you know what we do. We ramble about the round ball. So let's get into it. We are discussing the games from the night before. We had, I'd say, a pretty, would succinct be the word? Pretty compact schedule. There you go. I think that is probably better. 8 games last night. So we're going to start with the blowouts first and get our way down to the more interesting games. Let's start with the Houston Rockets against the Detroit Pistons, where you had a meeting of the twins. That's right. Amen Thompson and Asor Thompson played each other for the first time in their career. But as it turned out, if we look at individual matchups, Amen Thompson in just about 30 minutes off the bench, finished with 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists. 5 of 6 from the field, made his 1-3, 1 of 1 from the free throw line. A near perfect game, a plus 10 for him. Whereas Asor Thompson, who played just under 25 minutes per game, finished with 5 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. He was 2 of 4 from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. That's the highlights of it. Aside from that, the Detroit Pistons lost to the Houston Rockets to start the new year off at 3-30. The Rockets were led by one Alperen Sengun, who finished with 26 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists, 9 of 13 from the field, including a crazy and one over James Wiseman. That was just kind of cool looking. But really, the Pistons had no one that could guard Sengun. It didn't help that he got help. 22 points from Jalen Green on 6 of 12 shooting, 5 of 9 from 3, 5 rebounds, and an assist. It feels he definitely found his stride since basically last week of December. Then you had 16 points from Jayshawn Tate and 15 points from Fred VanVleet. And off the bench, 17 points for Tari Eason on 8 of 15 shooting. For the Pistons, like I said, not a whole lot that was super great. Alec Burks actually led all scorers with 21 points off the bench, 6 of 11 shooting, 3 of 6 from 3, 6 of 6 from the free throw line. You had 19 points from Jaden Ivey on 6 of 10 shooting, 3 of 4 from 3. That was good to see. Aside from that, 14 points for Bojan Bogdanovic, 12 points for Jalen Duren, along with 14 rebounds. Love the double-double machine that he is. And then Kevin Knox with 11. Cade Cunningham had 6 points, did not shoot well, and it wasn't for a lack of trying. He was 3 of 16 from the field, missed every one of the 5 3-pointers he took, but he had 10 assists. So 10 assists, great, but he probably wants that game back for sure. Another game I'm going to roll through real quick. The Phoenix Suns push past the Portland Trailblazers 109-88. This is a game that did not have the whole big three for the Suns. You did have Devin Booker, you did have Bradley Beal, you did not have Kevin Durant, who was out with a hamstring injury. But turned out all you needed really was Bradley Beal and some help. Bradley Beal led all Phoenix Suns scorers with 21 points on 8 of 16 shooting, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. Looked pretty much like Bradley Beal looks. Some nice jump shots, some good mid-rangers, knocked down a 3. You had 18 points from Jusuf Nurkic, who's been really solid in the month of December going into January. 18 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists for the big man there. Chimezie Metu had 14 points and 5 boards. Grayson Allen had 12 points. And then off the bench, Eric Gordon gave you 12 points, as well as Bol, who played just under 20 minutes and finished with 11 points, 9 rebounds, and shot 66% from the field. I didn't forget to mention Devin Booker. He just did not have a game to remember. 10 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, looks good. Did not shoot well from the field. And again, it wasn't for a lack of trying. Just 4 of 16. He started 1 of 10 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3. Just didn't have his shot going. But guess what? The Suns, they were okay. They didn't actually need him last night. Just a balanced team effort, and good to see Bradley Beal back and healthy. And then, of course, you hope that they have Kevin Durant back and healthy for their next game against Los Angeles Clippers, which should be a fun one, even if he's not, but would definitely be a fun one if he is available. For the Blazers, I don't know what I was about to say there. The Portland Thunder? No idea what I was about to say. For the Blazers, Scoot Henderson led all Blazers in scoring, 17 points, 6 assists, pretty, I would say, decently efficient. It wasn't super efficient, 7 to 18. for high volume for a bad Blazers team. I'll say that's efficient. It really wasn't. It was 38%, but 2 of 4 from the free throw line. You had 15 points from Jeremy Grant on 6 of 12 shooting. That's probably more efficient. But he didn't give you much else. 1 rebound, 3 assists. 10 points from Malcolm Brogdon on 3 of 8 shooting, 2 of 4 from the field, 5 assists as well. And then just a smattering of points off the bench. Jabari Walker, he had 10. You had 6 from Chris Murray, 6 from Shaedon Sharpe, 7 from Skylar Mays, 8 from Ish Wainwright. You just didn't really get a whole lot. And this was for a Blazers team that really couldn't find the bucket on a consistent basis. They shot just 41% from the field, just 26% from 3, and even the free throw line wasn't a given, where they finished 73% from there. So, you had a good team in Phoenix, a bad team in Portland, and you got what you got. If you're Portland, if you are turning the ball over 16% of the time and have an effective field goal percentage of 46% with an offensive rating of 89, that is not going to get you a victory most of the time, and it did not for them last night. All right, moving right along to another game. Denver Nuggets rolled past the Charlotte Hornets, 111-93. This was actually a competitive game to start. I love the fight that Charlotte's come out with, and I got to say, they do not have a good record. Charlotte is, for the record, 7-24, but a lot of their games, they have definitely been fighting and scrapping and clawing. They've just been shorthanded with injury, and that's been the biggest thing for them. In this game, I would say, was no exception. You didn't have LaMelo Ball. You didn't have Mark Williams. The guys who did play did perform admirably. I think the Hornets were led by Miles Bridges. He had 26 points on 10 of 14 shooting, 3 of 5 from 3, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. But every starter for Charlotte finished in double digits. Brandon Miller and Nick Richards finished with 15 points. Nick Richards threw in 8 rebounds. Brandon Miller added 5, although Brandon Miller did not shoot the ball well from the field. Just 5 of 17. That is 29%, folks, and 3 of 9 from 3. Nick Richards did shoot the ball better, 7 of 12, but come on, he finished around the rim. And then Ish Smith, who got the start. 29 minutes, 5 of 12 from the field, 4 assists, 10 points for him. And Bryson McGowan, who I've loved the flashes of play that he's given this past month and a half, 10 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 4-8 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. The Hornets basically got nothing from the bench. PJ Washington in 26 minutes finished with 6 points and 6 boards. Cody Martin in 25 minutes finished with 2 points and 6 assists. Nick Smith Jr. played just under 20 minutes, 5 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Nathan Mesa finished with 2 points and 4 rebounds and 13 minutes of action. And that was about all, folks. Not a whole lot there for the Hornets. First half, they were right there in it, but the third quarter, the Nuggets rode a 40-point third quarter to really blow the game wide open. And even though the Hornets outscored the Nuggets in the fourth quarter, the damage had already been more than done. Speaking of said Nuggets, one player who returned, Aaron Gordon from injury. Remember after Christmas Day, he was bitten by a dog and had to get 21 stitches across his face and shooting hand. He came back, looked good, played well. 10 points on 4 of 5 shooting, made his only 3, so the shooting hand looked fine. 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 rebounds for Gordon. But the Nuggets were led by 25 points from Jamal Murray, who finished 7 of 16 from the field, 5 of 9 from 3, 6 of 7 from the free throw line, 7 assists as well. You had Michael Porter Jr. with 22 points on 8 of 17. You had a near triple-double, as you always seem to get, from Nikola Jokic, 13 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists on 6 of 7 shooting. And then off the bench, Reggie Jackson, big government, helped the Nuggets with 15 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists in 17 minutes of action. Zeke Naji played 20 minutes and got some cardio in. Didn't do a whole lot. Not going to say he did. And then Christian Brown was your second most productive player for the Nuggets. 9 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 of 6 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, and 2 of 3 from the free throw line. So good play for the Nuggets there. And you know what? They came with the necessary energy. You got to say they did. At home, they're now 24-11. They came with the juice. It powered them through that third quarter. They were on some extra stuff. In fact, you could say that they were on a little thing called Magic Mind. What is Magic Mind? The sponsor of today's show. Let me tell you a little bit about it. Listen, y'all, the new year is here. Are y'all ready? Do y'all have the energy y'all need with all the things y'all want to do? Come on now. New Year's resolutions are a big deal. We know this. Everyone makes them, and yeah, maybe they're made to be broken, but right now, anything is possible, to quote the great Kevin Garnett. And listen, productivity is a thing that most struggle with. Every time we go into a day, we desperately want to do more, to be more efficient. to make the most of our day. And that is why I need to tell you about Magic Mind, which is this little elixir that has really helped me to stop procrastinating and put that little pep in my step in the mornings. And let me tell you, it's a short shot. Not a whole lot. I found that it improves my morning so much, I can take it with me anywhere I go. And when I drink it, I get a quick energy boost. I don't need coffee, which is great because anyone who loves me and knows me knows that coffee makes me obnoxiously hyper. Like, not even hyper and we're good, like all over the place, don't want to be around me. And that's not something that I want. I'm a people person. I like to be around people. Well, guess what? Magic Mind helps me to do that and still get the energy I need. Instead of reaching for a second, third, or fourth cup of coffee to keep up my energy levels, which I've occasionally done. I don't normally need to do that, but sometimes I do. I do multiple podcasts, all different shows, work full time, try to have a family life outside of this. Like, there's a lot going on. Instead of having to do any of that, I get my little shot in the morning and I'm good. Excuse me. They help me so much getting me in the right state of mind. I usually drink them in my car on the way to work, or I'll do it like I did this morning right before I record, just to get the extra boost to take me over the top. And what I love about it is, one, in addition to replacing my coffee, it reduces my need for additional caffeine, because when I wasn't drinking coffee, I would drink soda, which I know isn't healthy, but the shot of caffeine I get from that, the buzz, the bubbles, whatever you want to call it, would really help me out. And I don't need that now. And I'm able to get the same benefits I was drinking it for in the first place with Magic Mind. In addition to that, it allows me to sleep better. It's not heavy on caffeine, so I can take it in the afternoon. I don't have to worry about not being able to fall asleep at night. I could drink in the afternoon and know that, in 5 hours time, when I go to rest my head, I'm not going to be wired and up until, 2, 3 in the morning. I'll be able to fall asleep and get some good rest. And that is important to me. And also, it helps me to remember things. And that's thanks to an ingredient they have called Bacopa Moneri, which is an ingredient that boosts what's called your working memory. My memory sucks, y'all. I'm not going to lie. It's something I'm definitely working on improving. I'm trying to, refer more to my calendar, to write things down more. But taking this shot has not only helped me with my energy, but also helped me with recalling things, which I think is a really good addition. The ingredients on it are all natural. They work really well. They combine to give you many benefits that will help you in your day-to-day. But one benefit I love is matcha. If you love your matcha green tea, your smoothies, you know what it is. But the health benefits of it is it contains way less caffeine than coffee. And it also contains additional compounds that extend the benefits of caffeine by slowing your body's ability to absorb it all. And they also have an additional compound that helps you to reduce stress. And so these work together to prevent the spike in cortisol levels and the inevitable crash that comes from ingesting too much caffeine. If you think about it, matcha is basically nature's extended release version of caffeine. And it's good. Listen, I love extended release movies. Give me all the details. Give me all the deets on that. And with matcha, I get all the deets on the medical benefits that help me in terms of reducing my stress level, upping my productivity, and upping my energy level. You gotta love it. So I recommend it. Listen, I stand behind it. It works for me. It helps me. And if you're someone who struggles with, getting tired throughout the day, not being able to stay as focused as you would like, having a lot of work to do, and just not the energy to get it done, you're going to want to check out Magic Mind. I'm telling you. I shared it with my family. My mom's loved it. My family's had a great time with it, the ones I've shared it with. And so I encourage you to try it out as well. It is a total game changer. And listen, I'm about to give you some help in doing so. Guess how? Starting this year, 2024, if you go to Sprouts Farmers Market store, you can find it anywhere you go. Yep, across the country. Sprouts Farmers Market, check it out. Grab a few bottles and try it there. But you can also try it here with me because I have a code for you. Get on to www.magicmind.com/dailynba20. And you can get up to 56% off your first subscription or 20% off your first one-time purchase. Again, go to magicmind.com/dailynba and you get a subscription with up to 50% off with my code dailynba20. So I just say go to Sprouts, grab a bottle, see how you feel about it. Then go to magicmind.com/dailynba. Tell them Corban sent you. Okay, they're not going to know, but just tell them. And get that 50% off the subscription, and you can thank me later because it's really going to help you out. One more time, y'all. Magic Mind. It's a game changer. Up it up. Let's go. All right, let's get back to the action. We had OG Anunoby in his new home with the New York Knicks, as well as Precious Achiuwa and Malachi Flynn. Gotta let them know as well. As they played the best team in the West, the Minnesota Timberwolves, at home at MSG to bring in the new year, and the New York Knicks prevailed, winning 112-106 behind a monster game from Julius Randle, who finished with 39 points on 14 of 24 shooting, 2 of 6 from 3, 9 of 13 from the line, and 9 rebounds as well. He did not get an assist because guess what? The brother was not looking to score. That was not what was on his mind. But he did pile on the points and was just a menace around the basket, constantly finishing around the interior, constantly getting and ones, just racking up the points. And that helped because you did not have a great game from Jalen Brunson. He had 16 points and 14 assists, and those assists led the Knicks and were really good, but that made up for, sort of, a horrible shooting game where he finished 5 of 23 from the field, 1 of 9 from 3. Did make all 5 of his free throws, so that was good. Dante DiVincenzo played well, 15 points in 25 minutes, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Gotta love his activity, had a steal, a block, gets around like he does. But let's talk about the new addition, OG Anunoby. He played heavy minutes, 20 first half minutes. It was the first time he's done it, I think, this season. Coach Tibbs is definitely going to ride the guy. But in 35 minutes, he finished with 17 points, 6 rebounds, 7 of 12 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3. Really productive night from him. He had a nice slam. He had a couple of good corner shots. Loved the way that he was able to fit immediately. And again, we thought this would be a factor for him with the Knicks as a guy who is really a good, slot and play player. This is what he does. And he gave a great boost, I think, guarding everyone from, Anthony Edwards to Karl-Anthony Towns. Again, that defensive versatility. If you listen to Monday's show, I was joined by Josh Earl and Garrett Bouguet, and we talked about the OG Anunoby trade from all angles. What it meant for the Knicks, what it meant for the Rockets, their present move, their future move. Definitely go back and check that out. But in doing so, we said OG Anunoby is going to immediately fit in with this Knicks team that we all think are going to make additional moves. But as of right now, yeah, gave in good minutes, great perimeter defender. Hope he got his cardio in. He looks like he's a very well-conditioned athlete. Guess what? Coach Tom Thibodeau is going to put that to the test. So we'll see. Off the bench, literally not a whole lot going on for the Knicks. Just 18 points between 2 players, Quentin Grimes and Josh Hart. Quentin Grimes, in just under 19 minutes of the action, had 10 points and 3 rebounds. Josh Hart, in 28 minutes of action, had 8 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists. And that was it. They did not run a very deep bench. Preston Achiuwa got 9 minutes of action, had 3 rebounds for his time. Miles McBride got 7 minutes and did nothing but turn over the ball once. And Taj Gibson got in for 17 seconds of action. So, good for him. For the Timberwolves, who started off really strong, then they went down really hard, and then they climbed back and made a game of it. Anthony Edwards led the way. 35 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 11 to 21 from the field, 4 of 9 from 3. You had 29 points from Karl-Anthony Towns, who finished 10 to 18 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3. Those 2 players really, sparked the furious comeback that the Timberwolves put on in that third and fourth quarter to really make a game of it. In that fourth quarter, really trying to get back in, but it wasn't enough. And that's because those 2 and one other player, Rudy Gobert, who had 10 points on 3-8 shooting, were the only players in double digits for the Timberwolves. That was it. You had 8 points from Jaden McDaniel on 2 of 8 shooting. You had 5 points from Mike Conley, 2 of 6 shooting. You had 5 points from Naz Reid, 2 of 6 shooting. You had 9 from Jordan McLaughlin on 4 of 5. After that, you had 3 points from Nickeil Alexander-Walker on 1 of 3. And then Kyle Anderson came, he took a shot, he made it, he was done. Okay, I'm just kidding. But he had 2 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists in 17 minutes of action. There was just not enough help from the other Timberwolves to really give Edwards and Towns some relief. They shot the ball decently, I guess, 47% from the field, 39% from 3, but you need more than just what you got from those guys. And ultimately, they did not get enough. And that was a big reason why the Timberwolves went down in this one. But guess what? They're still a very good team. A lot of people were giving thoughts on what this might look like for them, in the postseason because their inability to defend in the interior and not in the interior, but defend the interior in transition being the big thing. But in my mind, listen, it was a Sunday game. It was a Monday game, 3 in the afternoon, during New Year's Eve. I don't think that in the postseason you'd be playing most of your games during that time. Maybe one during a weekend. But this was a weekday 3 o'clock game. That does have an effect on players. It's a little out of the ordinary. And I think that was a factor. And also, I doubt that other players aren't going to show up. Mike Conley can at least reach double digits. I don't think Jaden McDaniels is a consistent double-digit guy like that, in the 15 to 20. But he's better than 4 to 8. So I'm not too worried about that. Utah blasted past Dallas, 127 to 90. Last time Dallas played Utah, they beat them by 50. So I think Utah was doing their best to return the favor. The Jazz were led by the triple-double machine himself. I'm just kidding, but they got one from him. Jordan Clarkson, who off the bench finished with 20 points, 10 rebounds and 11 assists on 8 of 16 shooting, the first Jazz player to get a triple-double in 16 years since Carlos Boozer. Blast from the past back then. But that was the first one. But good all-around game for him. A plus 36 for Jordan Clarkson, which was only eclipsed by a plus 37 for Walker Kessler and a plus 38 for Keontae George, all off the bench. For the record, Kessler had 11 points and 10 rebounds, where Keontae George had 14 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. For the starters, the Jazz were led in scoring by Simone Fontecchio, who finished with 24 points and 6 rebounds on 10 of 16 shooting. You also had 17 points from Lauri Markkanen on 6 of 12 shooting with 4 rebounds, and 15 points from John Collins on 7 of 13 from the field. He shot 5 threes. I liked that. He didn't make a single one. I didn't like that, but guess what? All in all, I'm glad he's at least taking the shot. Colin Sexton played just under 20 minutes, had 8 points on 8 shots. Not great, but had 6 assists, so that was good. But ultimately, it really, as much as I want to say the Jazz won this game, because they did, the Mavericks just lost it. Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving combined for 12 for 34 and 5 of 16 from 3. This is not great. Kyrie individually didn't play super bad in his first game back after missing the last 10 with that ankle injury. 14 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists for him on 6 of 14 shooting, 2 of 3 from 3. It was Luka's numbers that were a little worse. 19 points and 14 assists along with 6 rebounds is great. 6 of 20 from the field, 3 of 13 from 3 is not great, right? And they didn't really get a whole lot of scoring help outside of those two. Jaden Hardy was your next leader in scoring. He had 17 points. He was actually in between Luka and Kyrie with 17 points and 3 rebounds, 6 of 15 from the field, 5 of 9 from 3. Derek Lively had 10 points on 5 of 8 shooting with 6 rebounds, and that was it for your Mavericks double-digit scores. You had 6 points apiece from Derrick Jones Jr. and Tim Hardaway Jr., and then after that, you had 4 points from Dante Exum, Grant Williams, Dwight Powell, Brandon Williams. You get where I'm going with it. Wasn't a lot of scoring from them. The Mavericks shot just 39% from the field, just 27% from 3, and they didn't get to the free throw line only 10 times, and they only made 5 of those 10 free throw attempts. So ultimately, they just were not finding the basket, and that was a big reason why they went down in this game. Raptors, with their new additions of Emmanuel Quickley and RJ Barrett, beat the Cleveland Cavaliers 124-121 in a home opener for the new additions for the Raptors. Let's start with the Raptors and their new additions first. I thought it was funny that Emmanuel Quickley got the start, wasn't getting a whole lot of minutes for the Knicks, wasn't getting anywhere close to 30 really, and then came to the Raptors in his first game, didn't get close to 30 either. I'm just kidding. He did get close to 30, but he didn't eclipse it. And it wasn't because of any coaching or anything like that. It was because he was battling foul trouble. But in his 28 minutes, Emmanuel Quickley finished with 14 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 of 13 from the field. Not super great, but 2 of 5 from 3, which, guess what? You're going to get the threes up. The Raptors need your outside shooting desperately. Thank you, Emmanuel Quickley. RJ Barrett played really well. In just under 30 minutes of action, he had 19 points along with 9 rebounds, 6 of 12 from the field. Pretty efficient for a guy who is maligned for not being efficient. 1 of 2 from 3. But those are not the stars of the show for Toronto. No, they were not. It was Pascal Siakam, who played 40 big minutes, 13 of 20 from the field, 5 of 8 from 3, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 36 big points for Siakam. Really good play for him. Scotty Barnes came alive late in 35 minutes. He had 20 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 7 of 17 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3, not super great, but all around a decent game for him. And then Jakob Poeltl, a double-double in just under 36 minutes. Yeah, the starters were They were rode hard. 14 points and 11 boards, along with 4 assists for Jakob Poeltl. Off the bench, Dennis Schroeder, a plus 12. In just under 30 minutes of action, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 of 7 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3, but a pretty good game all around for him. And then Gary Trent Jr., 26 minutes, 9 points, 6 rebounds for him. The bench did not shoot well, the bench being 2 players, Dennis Schroeder and Gary Trent Jr., who combined for 6 of 17 from the field and 2 of 10 from 3, but they were the only ones who got off the bench and scored. The Raptors really only played 4 guys off the bench. It was Schroeder, Trent Jr., Boucher, and Thad Young. Boucher played 11 minutes. Thad Young played 2. And they did not do anything except grab a rebound in Boucher's case and get some cardio in Thad Young's case. It was really the starters who were given a lot of the action, but they did come and produce for Toronto. For the Cavs, Cleveland was up, led by Karis LeVert off the bench with 31 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists, just under 30 minutes of action. 12 of 20 from the field, 2 of 7 from 3, knocked down all 5 of his free throws. Then Donovan Mitchell had 26 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 6 of 6 from the free throw line, 4 of 9 from 3, 8 of 21 overall. Made some clutch buckets late. Solid play for him. Jared Allen, Isaac Okoro Isaac Okoro, and Sam Merrill tied for third for the Cavs in scoring. Each had 16 points apiece. Each was pretty efficient in doing so. Jared Allen, 5 of 11. Isaac Okoro, 5 of 10, although he missed every one of his 4 3-pointers. And Sam Merrill, 6 of 11, 4 of 8 from 3. But Max Strus and Dean Wade did not give you a whole lot. Strus, 6 points, 6 rebounds on 2 of 7 from the field, both of them being threes. Dean Wade, 1 of 2 from the field for 2 points and 3 rebounds. Just didn't get a whole lot outside of, LeVert, Mitchell, and Allen, Okoro, and Merrill. And it's good that you had guys like Okoro and Merrill really step up. They needed that. But it just wasn't enough for a monster game from the Toronto Raptors and a win for the Toronto kid in RJ Barrett and the new starting point guard in Emmanuel Quickley. Milwaukee dominated. And I want to say dominated. Milwaukee had the game against Indiana, I would say, in control for most of it. And then Indiana woke up, came with a 38-point fourth quarter, and blasted past the Bucks to win the game 122-113. Double-double machine Tyrese Halliburton did register a turnover. He actually registered 2 after, 2 straight games of 20-point assist games with no turnovers. Really, really good streak for him. That is now broken, but he still finished with an efficient game. 26 points, 9 rebounds, 11 assists, 11 of 22 from the field. Did not find a 3-ball going down for him, just 1 of 7 from there. But 11 assists to 2 turnovers is not bad at all. I will take that assist-turnover ratio any day of the week. Miles Turner, 13 points, 4 rebounds for him. You had 25 points off the bench from Benedict Mathurin. 9 of 15 from the field, only 1 of 5 from 3, but 6 of 9 from the free throw line. And I keep bringing up the 3-pointers because, one, I look at 3-pointers as, a line of how well they shot that and how many they took to get to their shooting percentages. But I also look at it because for this Pacers team, 1 of 7 from Tyrese Halliburton, 1 of 7 from Aaron Nesmith, 1 of 6 from Jalen Smith, 1 of 5 from Benedict Mathurin, 1 of 3 from Obi Toppin, 0 of 4 for Buddy Hield, 0 of 1 for TJ McConnell, and they still won the game. Why? They piled in the bench, the post points, piled in the paint points, rather, with 60 plus coming from there. They shot just 14% from 3. Just 5 of 35 from 3. And I'm sure you could have kind of did some mental math and gotten to that number because you're like, well, a lot of shots didn't go in for these guys for the amount of threes they took. But they still won the game because they were able to finish in the paint consistently. And that is a troubling sign for Milwaukee's Bucks defense that gave them countless paint points. Why can't I speak today? I have no idea. Speaking of the Bucks were led by Giannis Antetokounmpo, who had a 3rd straight big game against the Bucks. And this will be one of the 2nd or 3rd times that he's lost said big game. Giannis had 30 points, 18 rebounds, 11 assists, messed around and got a triple-double in 36 minutes of action. You had 21 points from Brook Lopez on 8 of 17 shooting with 5 rebounds as well. Damian Lillard, man, it was not Dame time last night. It was more like Lame time. 13 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Looks okay, I guess. But 3 of 16 from the field. That is 18%, folks. 11% from 3, 1 of 9 from 3. He could not buy a bucket. Just did not have the capital to do it. He did not have the capacity. It did not go in for him at all. And I think that down the stretch, that was kind of an issue. Because if you could redistribute those shooting numbers to, I don't know, an efficient Chris Middleton, who was 9 of 13 from the field, or Malik Beasley was 4 of 8 from 3, I think that does better for this Bucks team. At some point, I mean, come on now, 3 of 16 from the field, yeah, you were never hot. Like, you were cold for the most part. So, I don't know. That's just my thoughts. It is Damian Lillard. I'm not going to judge him on, being great as he's been. But, you shouldn't have 16 shots to go, whoa, I am not finding a bucket here. And other guys were very efficient for the Bucks. It wasn't like he had to go and take those shots. For the record, both Giannis and Malik Beasley shot 50% from the field. Brook Lopez shot 47% from the field. And Chris Middleton shot 69% from the field. So those guys really were putting in some work offensively. Off the bench, he did not get a whole lot, so maybe I get that. Bobby Portis had 8 points and 5 rebounds on 4 of 12 shooting. Cameron Payne, 11 minutes of action, 5 points on 1 of 4 shooting. And Pat Connaughton, 23 minutes of action, 3 points on 1 of 3. If you're counting at home, that is 18 points for 3 people. Andre Jackson Jr. played 5 minutes and got 1 rebound, so he got some cardio. So yeah, the Bucks need to work on that a little bit. I think interior defense is the bigger issue in my mind. But yeah, having some production from your bench will be helpful. When you have Giannis Antetokounmpo, Marcus Bolden, AJ Green, Chris Livingston, Robin Lopez, and Lyndall Wigginton, just guaranteed do not plays, not great, right? And if you're not getting anything from Connaughton, Portis, and Payne, and any permutation or combination of those three, that's not great either. So something to figure out for sure. But the Bucks, I mean, they're still one of the best teams in the East, even without that. So not a huge deal for them. All right, last game to talk about. Los Angeles Clippers beat the Miami Heat 121-104 in Kawhi Leonard's return after missing the last 7 games. Kawhi Leonard finished with 24 points to lead the Clippers. He looked efficient. The team as a whole, the Clippers have been on a rise over the last 10 games or so. They're now 20-12. They look great, but let's go back to Kawhi. 33 minutes, 24 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, and a block on 10-19 shooting, 2 of 5 from 3. That's pretty good, folks. Right behind him was Paul George, 23 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists on 7 of 14 shooting. James Harden gave you a double-double, 15 points and 10 assists on 5 of 8 shooting, 3 of 5 from 3. Ivica Zubac gave you 6 points and 12 rebounds. And then Terrence Mann, 12 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Every one of them was efficient. The worst shooter from the floor for your starters was Paul George, who shot 50% from the field, and that is nothing to sniff at, right? Off the bench, 22 points from Norman Powell on 9 of 11 shooting, 4 of 5 from 3, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Amir Coffey gave you 5 points, 1 rebound, and 2 assists. And then Russell Westbrook, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists for him. Just a really productive game up and down for this Clippers squad, who shot 58% from the field, 48% from 3, 92% from the free throw line. That is a really good game, y'all. There was no way to slice it other than that. For the Miami Heat, let's just say it wasn't as efficient as the Los Angeles Clippers. The Heat shot just 42% from the field, 32% from 3, 79% from the free throw line. They were led by Bam Adebayo, who had 21 points and 15 rebounds along with 4 assists. He was only 6 of 17 from the field though, and 0 of 2 from 3. You had 17 points rather from Kevin Love off the bench in 22 minutes of action on 7 of 11 shooting with 4 rebounds and 3 assists. After that, you had a pair of 15-point games from Duncan Robinson and Jaime Jaquez Jr. Both did not shoot the ball super well, but, they got 15 points, Duncan Robinson, 3 of 8 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3, made all 6 of his free throws. Jaime Jaquez, 6 of 13 from the field, didn't make a single 3, 4 rebounds and 2 assists for him. It just wasn't an efficient night for the Heat. Jamal Cain got the start, 9 points in 34 minutes of action, 4 of 12 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, and then Kyle Lowry in 24 minutes of action, 8 points, 3 assists, 3 of 5 from the field. Just not enough firepower off the Miami Heat squad. Aside from Bam Adebayo and, like I said, Kevin Love, Duncan Robinson, and Jaime Jaquez, that was it. Your only other double-digit scorer was Tyler Hero, and he did not do it efficiently. In 35 minutes of action, 4 of 13 from the field, 4 of 8 from 3, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. They just didn't have the juice, and that's okay. But that is why they lost the game. Waiting, obviously, for the return of Jimmy Butler, I think that will be big for the Heat, and hopefully, return to form for some of their better scores in terms of efficiency and volume to kind of get back into the winners column. And for the Clippers, watch out. There's a big matchup against the Suns coming up this week that I'm very excited for, but they are on the rise. They are now 4th in the Western Conference at 20-12. And before we leave, let me run through the standings and, of course, the games that are being played tonight. So, for the number 1 seed for the East, the Boston Celtics at 26-6. Milwaukee Bucks at 24-9 are second. At third, the Philadelphia 76ers at 22-10. Fourth are the Orlando Magic at 19-13 with the big game against the Warriors tonight. Fifth are the Miami Heat at 19-14. Right behind them are the Pacers at 18-14 and the Cleveland Cavaliers at 18-15. After that, you have the New York teams, 18-15 New York Knicks, 15-18 Brooklyn Nets. Then you have the Chicago Bulls, who are 15-19, followed by the Atlanta Hawks, who are 13-19. And then you have the bottom cellar dwellers. The Toronto Raptors are the one team that is still above water there. They're 13-20. Then you have the 7-24 Charlotte Hornets, the 6-26 Washington Wizards, and the 3-30 Detroit Pistons. The lottery squads for sure. Lit for the lottery. Okay, going to the Western Conference, you have the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are still holding strong at 24-8 for number 1 in the West, followed closely by the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are 22-9. Just after that, you have the Denver Nuggets, who are third at 24-11. The Los Angeles Clippers at 20-12. The Sacramento Kings at fifth. The Sacramento Kings at fifth at 19-12. Followed by the New Orleans Pelicans 19-14. Dallas Mavericks 19-15. Phoenix Suns 18-15. Houston Rockets 16-15. Holding the 10th spot is Los Angeles Lakers at dead even 500, 17 up and 17 down. Then the Golden State Warriors at 15-17. The Utah Jazz at 15-19. The Memphis Grizzlies at 10-22. And then, of course, you're the 9-23 Blazers and your 5-27 Spurs. So, yeah, a lot going on there for sure. Let's talk about the action that we are looking forward to tonight. So, starting with the early games at 7 Eastern time on NBA TV. You have the Chicago Bulls against the Philadelphia 76ers. 76ers will be without Joel Embiid. The Chicago Bulls have had a great month of December. Let's see if they can bring in the new year with a continued return to winning form. At 8 o'clock, the San Antonio Spurs will play the Memphis Grizzlies. That'll be a fun one to watch for two teams that are at the bottom. One desperately trying to get to the top, one just trying not to be the worst. Also at 8 o'clock, you have the Brooklyn Nets playing the New Orleans Pelicans. And you have the Boston Celtics playing the Oklahoma City Thunder. That will be a game I am very curious to lock into. At 10 o'clock on NBA TV Eastern time, of course, the Orlando Magic will be playing the Golden State Warriors. Golden State tend to start the new year right, get out of that 11th spot, and try to get back to the winning column after having a pretty bad letdown against the Dallas Mavericks just before the end of 2023. And then to close out the night, a fun game that should be had, the Charlotte Hornets against the Sacramento Kings, and that'll be at 10 o'clock on League Pass. So NBA TV has your local doubleheaders for tonight's action, your national TV doubleheader. Again, the Chicago Bulls and Philadelphia 76ers, followed by the Orlando Magic and Golden State Warriors. So those will be the games to tune into tonight. I would say a tidy 7-game slate, not a whole lot there happening. Or a tidy 6-game slate. Don't know why I couldn't count. Not a whole lot there happening, but that'll be a fun one to tune into, and you can make sure to check out Ramble tomorrow to catch the updates on yesterday's action or tonight's action by the point you listen to this. So definitely make sure to rock with me on that. I appreciate every person for listening. Thank y'all again for that. Follow me on Twitter at Corban NBA. Check out Sports Ethos on Twitter at Sports Ethos. Online, sportsethos.com. Check out the fine folks at Switch Theory on Twitter at Switch Theory. Great draft team content. I love the work they do there. Great basketball minds. I love the collection of talent there. And then one more time, y'all, Magic Mind. Check it out, www.magicmind.com/dailynba to get yourself that subscription with up to 50% off. Again, dailynba20 is the code there to get you some of that Magic Mind and increase your productivity there. Listen, y'all, I love y'all. I am Frosty. Y'all stay frosty, and I will talk to y'all real soon. All right, y'all.